Another weekend, another video. Hello everyone, how we doing? It's ManTubCells here. Whether you clicked on this video for the title or to see your awesome, your epic, your very cool host ManTubCells in another video, I thank you either way. I appreciate you being here. We're going to be talking about, it's going to be a what's sold because I'm dealing with items I've sold in the past week or maybe past 2 weeks. Mostly in the past week though. These are all pretty recent things. Some are even shipping out this Monday coming up. And yeah, I wanted to differentiate what makes a good buy, like a good buy and a quick flip, versus what is kind of a bad buy and what's a slow flip. Because I just realized this weekend, I was thinking about it. It was a question that popped in my head. And the best videos are ones that you actually have an interest in. At least that's how I think. I was like, why did some of these items I've just picked up this past week, I've just listed them 3 days ago, and they're gone? And I noticed a few things looking at different case scenarios here. We have more, thankfully, more cases of good items, things that have listed quickly and just sold within like a month. For some of these, just in a few days, and some that hold on for months and months. But I only have like a few scenarios of that because obviously there's not too many scenarios of old things that sit for a while selling, because that's the problem with them. They sit for a while and they take a while to sell. But a few of them kind of snuck up on me. I was like, oh, I haven't seen these books in a while. I was like, why did these suck? Where did it go wrong when I was outsourcing? And I just want to give you guys some tips and tricks. Try to look and see, how to get things to sell quicker. Maybe what to avoid, what to look for. Maybe some different details in your listings. We're going to go through it all in the video. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so we're going to start off with the desirables, the things that went quick and I got just recently. These I picked up just this past week. Rhys Bowen, A Lot of Nine, Murphy Mysteries. This is obviously a set. It's in the same series. They're all paperbacks. They're all consistent. We have, the pretty typical. I actually had some wear and tear here. We show that off. They had like a bit of a bend to them. All of them had a bit of a bend. We show that off. Conditions acceptable. So why exactly did this sell and why did it sell so well? Well, obviously we have here is a complete, it's not a complete set, but it's all in the same series, the same, same set of books. It's not all of the books, but it's a fairly decent sized lot. A lot of 9. I can't complain about that. All trade paperbacks. This is very good. It's one of those things. You have a very consistent lot. It's not a weird mix. One that I have that is kind of a bad example of one is I had a Stephen King lot, and there was like some really tattered ones, and then there was hardcovers without the dust jackets. A real ragtag lot. This is a very clean lot. This is a very desirable lot. You'll want to get something like this. If we take a look at some of the listings, there are a lot of listings out here. And as you'll notice, there are varying prices for this. So what I did here to try to make it competitive, we go into the sold. Now this is what you always want to do when you're out in the field, in the hunting grounds, when you're out looking for your books, you're sourcing. Now obviously we deal in media here, so we do books, DVDs, CDs, and all that. But we're primarily talking about books today because I primarily do books. So this is a book-centric video. Sorry, that's just how it is because that is like my main thing. I do other things, but mainly I do books. But these principles do apply to other things. They apply to probably every category, just not exactly the same wording. Not hardcovers, not sets of books, but maybe like types of clothes, quality of clothes. Take the primary lessons and apply them elsewhere. I'm sure you'll get on the right path, right? So if we look at the solds here, obviously, oh wow, mine on top, no surprise. But we have other ones here, a lot of 10 for 30, a lot of 4 for $13.99, a lot of 9 for 50 on an offer, so they probably took an offer. So I kind of sold it middle of the road, maybe a little cheaper. I listed it fair. Obviously, it's going pretty consistently. We have a lot of solds. We want to make sure of that. You want to make sure it is selling consistently. I believe they call those sell-through rate here on the YouTubes and in general. But yes, you want to make sure you're kind of following the trends. I always say you want to be honest with your customers. This one is a bid, so it is a little cheaper, even though there is more. But bids can be like that. They can either be work in your favor or work against you. I always try to avoid bids unless it's a certain scenario item. But yes, trying to be fair, trying to look at what everyone else is doing, make sure the item is actually selling. There's, it's a desirable item. It's not a mismatched lot. And that's one of those things that you can make certain, and you note it down, that you will probably have a good lot on your hands. Looking at our next one here. Rare, the Bastogne War Museum Visitor's Guide. This one was another one. I bought that in the same day. This is a completely random one. My friend at the front counter was like, "Hey, I have this for you. I found this in my house. I was bringing it in. I wanted to see if you wanted it." So I picked it up. I didn't even actually look at it, but I was like, I had so many good things that day. I was like, "Oh, sure." But this thing sold really quick. The day I listed it, the next day it sold. What caused that? What caused that? Well, I always tell you guys in my videos, you'll know this, you'll remember this, we like to call them the mystery items or the mystery books. The things that do not exist on eBay. There is nothing like it. There is no like items. When you type it in or any variation of it, let's remove even a few more keywords up here, see if we find anything. Bastogne War Museum, we get some weird currency. We go book, try to get in the book category. And we really don't find much. We don't find anything actually resembling that. And sometimes that is just how it is. Sometimes you are the only supplier of that, period, on eBay. And when you're in that position, sometimes the item will sit for a while. I don't want to say this is a guarantee. Oh, yes, it's going to sit. List it, and then you sell it in a few days. Sometimes these mystery books, you will hold on to them for a while. But when you are the sole provider of it, there's no one else they can go to. So when that one person is looking for it, and maybe you have best offer, like I did, they'll shoot you an offer what they think they want to pay for something like that, because you don't know. You're trying to set, whenever I have a sole item, I'm the only person with it, I try to set a reasonable price, because I don't want to do, $100. Someone might think I'm kind of crazy, like, I'm just not going to bother with that. But if you set it like a fair, reasonable price, I think like 30 to 50, depending on the thing. When I looked at this initially, I tried to look, all right, what are like this? Is there any real like items out here? Like we have this, the Bastogne, and the Ardennes Offense, but it's not really exactly it. So I always try to stick it around that 20 to 40 range, because I think that is within reason. Someone will send you an offer if they really want it, or they will just buy it straight out. And if we look here, I just want to show you, this is obviously, I'm the only one who has sold this recently, past 90 days. So yes, sometimes when you are the sole provider of an item, sometimes, hey, it will sit for a while. I have a lot of these mystery items. I like always bringing them up to you guys, because it is something I like doing. I like taking that risk, like, it's not on eBay, and that's why I really like eBay. One of you, my super fan, as I like to call you, I believe your name is, Your Journey is Not My Journey. Appreciate the support on the channel recently, guys. It's been awesome. We've been doing great. I love it. I've been enjoying this adventure with you guys. Just want to shove that in there. And thank you to my super fan who always comments on the videos. I really appreciate it. You're great. You're awesome. A little tidbit for you, a little to the side. But yes, I believe that same commenter mentioned, like, why don't you sell on other platforms? Well, this is one of those reasons why I like eBay, because you deal with those niche items. You can do that. I know, like, things like Amazon, it's like you kind of have to sell in bulk or something weird like that, and it's all this weird fulfillment center stuff. I don't really know. I don't really want to deal with that stuff. I like picking up my weird oddball things, putting it up there. I like just reselling, reselling you, your item, and the buyer. And, eBay takes their little fees here and there. They're the middleman, right? They're just the platform. I like it like that. I don't like the weird social network stuff on the other platforms. I just like this cut and dry. You put it up there, and if someone wants it, it's gone. And then on to the Inkheart Trilogy. Yes. Now, this one was one that I was like, this is never going to sell. This is never going to sell, because there was others out there. They weren't selling for that much. And I was like, what am I really going to do with this? What am I going to do with this? Well, for this one, I wanted to mention keywords, I guess. Keywords, we have first edition U.S., 2003 hardcover. If we look here, we have this one. It's like Inkheart hardcover by Fung, and it doesn't show like the items, and there's a lot of listings like this. You get down here, and we have 2003 hardcover, but it doesn't mention like it being a first edition or whatnot. And then we get into like $25, $14 items. It gets kind of weird. This is one of those ones, whenever I see these, and this is no problem to these people, you do what you want to do. These ones where the image isn't the actual item you have, I always think, like, I don't know if I would ever buy an item like that. Have you ever bought an item like that? one of those things where if you have an item that kind of sticks out, like you say, hey, this is the hardcover first edition, and you're actually showing it off completely, this one, it was one of those ones where it was like all default images for the most part. And if we look at the solds, we can see a similar story to what I was saying. So obviously I think that is mine at the top there. But we have these ones. So this one shows off the actual item. This one actually shows off the actual item. Then we have others down here that are part of the other bits of the set. We have the full set down here. And we keep going. We found, hey, look at that. This one's another $10 one. So yeah, this is one where it's like having good keywords in your title and actually showing off the image maybe better than your competitors, or more thoroughly, something that a buyer can go and kind of click through the images and see, oh, this is exactly what I'm getting. Okay, good. I'll take that as a deal. That's one of those things when the quality of your listing can actually set you apart from your competitors. This one's an interesting one. Billy Bunter's Double. Billy Bunter's Double. This one I picked up, this past week again. Once again, I tagged it with rare because sometimes I like putting that up there. It is an attention grabber. There's some people that say, I want to not do that, but I've always done that. It's always worked for me. I've done that in 2 of my listings here. So yes, the title matters. Showing off the book matters. We show off the wear and tear. We always do that. We give the customer the ability to find the information that they want. We always want to make sure we are transparent with our listings. We show off some more wear and tear. And yeah, this is all well and good, a very standard listing of mine, but let's look at what the greater eBay scope of this item is. Why particular this item? Well, as we can see, we have another one. This looks like a different edition, and once again, kind of like a stock image. This one here, we have definitely a different one. Maybe it has its dust jacket. And then we have another one. This one's definitely a different edition. But then we come to here. This is the exact match of my item, but it's a different region. And if we keep looking some more, we have different region, and it's particularly, if we go to the solds, it's mostly different regions. Now, I wanted to stress this point because it's similar to the first, the War Museum one, when you are the sole provider of an item, but this time it's more in the region. So I'll notice a lot of the times with a lot of different books that I have, it's region specific, I guess. You'll see a lot of books that are from like, oh, let's just use the UK, the Brexit friends, all right? Those people across the ponders, right? You'll see like a lot of the books will be listed and it'll be like from UK, and it's like, $27 shipping. Now, do we really want to pay $27 shipping? Not really, not really. So it's one of those ones when you are the person, in your region that you can actually sell that item. It is basically like you're the sole provider once again. So checking to see like, oh, is this popular in another region? That can be, people move around. People want different things from different places. So let's say, someone comes over here and like, oh, I remember Billy Bunter. And then they're like, well, I don't really want to buy it from the homeland. I'm going to get it cheaper for, $3 shipping here. I don't exactly know, but it's one commonality that I see if things are vastly provided from different regions and then you step in your region, obviously USA region, North America region for me, that can be helpful. That has definitely been the case in several other scenarios when I've sold things that I didn't really know whether I should buy it or not. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to pull the trigger since, all the other ones that have sold or that are being provided are, elsewhere. And no one's really going to want to go through the hassle. I can come in. I can be the person to provide it here. And typically that will work out in your favor. Isaac Asimov. This one is just pure desirable. There's nothing more to it. He is just a good seller. And this is one of those times when I just want to say, if you know your brands, you know your stuff, you know what is good, what people want, and this is a very specific, a very niche thing. This is something when, let's say for clothes like Lululemon, you see it, you buy it. Isaac Asimov is that for books. He is just good. The fiction books are good. This is one of those ones that you always want to get. Vintage fiction, vintage sci-fi, lots of them go. Lots of them are listed, and it's just always a solid buy. So sometimes it is purely just because the popularity of the item. If we look here, even newly listed, we have more lots and lots. I can hold down the down arrow forever. He has the Foundation trilogy, so much, and it sells for quite a high amount, and in a very high quantity. So look at this. We have a $40 one. We have all this. Once again, we can just keep going down. We keep seeing more and more lots, all around the same prices or more, depending on the rarity of the lot. Like, look at this. We have $36.99 for 13 of them, and that's only 2 more than what I had. And we have $30.99 for the trilogy. And yeah, there's just different types of books that Asimov has. He is a frequenter on this channel. You guys have definitely seen him before, because Asimov is just one of those times when it's the quality of the item, it's the desirability of the item, and that is the key point. It doesn't matter about the rest of it. It's just because they want Asimov. To think of like a more recent example other than Lululemon, think of like Squishmallows. I know this will be probably irrelevant, and probably is irrelevant by now, but that's one of those times that, you know, who really cares about Squishmallow? It's just a stuffed bear, you know, going crazy right now. It's the new thing. It's just one of those things where that item, it's just desirable. It will sell. There's a lot of them up there, and a lot of them sell, and for a fairly decent price. So yes, this is one of those cases where it's pure knowledge base. It's pure like, oh, I know that person's good. I know this item will sell, and you just get it. And on to a few of the, not good ones that I've had that have sold recently that, where they have held on to them for quite some months. Like I mentioned with the Stephen King one, sometimes they're, it's a weird lot. It's just not really doing it. It's, different things. They're tattered. It doesn't look that well. Julia Child, The French Cookbook. This one, very standard book. Look at that. We show the front, the middle, and the back. Now, what could be going wrong here? Why did this take so long? Sometimes the item really just, look at this. We'll just look at it. Just not consistent. We have I didn't sell it for that much, but look, there's not that. We have 5 results. We have 5 total results. It's not that many. Now, sometimes it's like, hey, you said with no results, that means you're going to be the sole provider. Yes, with no results. It's not a thing of scale. The second you have other sellers, when you're the sole provider, you are the sole provider. The second you have other sellers, then you get a little wishy-washy. This is one of those scenarios where it's like, why my item? It's not selling that fast. The people that are up there, there's competition. It's not desired. It's the exact opposite of Asimov. So look, we have one that's sold. There's my item. There's another one. And yeah, competition comes in, free shipping. It's only a few have sold, not even that recently. We have others with clearly the hardcover and the dust jacket, which is a more desirable version of the book, because typically hardcovers are more desirable than paperbacks, which is another huge reason. Yeah, this is just a non-desirable book. There's not many listed out there, but the competition out there, will obviously lower the price to try to sell their item. That's completely fair. That's the name of the game. But when your item isn't really a hot ticket item, like people are buying it off the shelves, it's going to sit there for a while. Try to avoid these like still water. I think of it like a still pond. It's like, a little trickles out, but a lot of stuff just kind of fills in there, pools, and nothing's really getting out. It's just try to avoid these items where you only have like a few results and maybe a few sales, like 3 or 4 sales, and they're not recent. They aren't just like randomly selling really quick. It's just very slowly trickling out. Your item will sell eventually, but this is one of those times when you're doing a long haul investment for a $9.90 free shipping item. Not worth it. One of those times that you just want to keep that in your mind. Avoid still ponds. Do not drink out of still ponds. I was in a class. I'm in microbiology, and apparently you get like some brain-eating bacterium. Just, avoid these items. Avoid still ponds. That's 2 bits of advice in one. All right. So we're gonna go on to my last good example. This one's going out Monday. Spectacular Galapagos. I know it's not Galapagos, but I like saying it that way. Anyways, this book is a beefy book. It has wear and tear. This is a huge book, and it's just not. It's not. It has its hardcover. It has its dust jacket. But again, this is a still pond. We look at this. Look at this. So we have other people listing. Not that many. We have like 3. Okay, we have some from the other. Look at that. UK, Italy. this is a still pond. This is one that there's some out there that could sell before yours that look better, they're new, or they're offering free shipping. This is a case that I just took an offer. I said I want this book gone. This is a pain to have in storage. It's literally this big. It's like bigger than like my wingspan. All right, no, it's not that big, but it is like a big book. I wanted it gone. I have it back here in one of my boxes. I would actually rather have the storage. So I sold it for $5 plus I guess $5 shipping. Just wanted this book gone. Again, this is a still pond scenario where your book is there and there's a few others there. None are really selling. You have a few there. You have one other that has sold kind of recently, but other than that, no real activity. I bought this definitely as a mistake. I just thought it would be good. I probably put it in one of my bins like, oh, this is a big tabletop book and this will be great. Not really. Try to avoid these ones that are just kind of sitting there, pooling up with other books and not really going out at all. Check your sold section. Make sure that you, this is really the key. You just go up to the advanced. I just want to show you guys this real quick. And it'll show, oh, Spectacular Galapagos. Boom, sold listings. On the phone, it'll check off completed listings as well. And yeah, you can find this information easily on the eBay website. And that's what I like to try to do in these videos is try to ground it in reality. Look at really the figures that you are seeing right from eBay. And yeah, this is what we're seeing. When you have an item that is just kind of sitting there for a while, it's normally because it's just either A, you've done kind of like a poor job advertising, like in the Stephen King lot where it's like you have like paperbacks, hardcovers. It's just not like, who wants that? You could go and get the full paperback lot or the hardcover with the dust jacket. And, it's not really that good, not well put together, not well thought out on my part. That's my fault. Or you have like this Julia Child or this Spectacular Galapagos Turtles, No, it's Galapagos, all right? I made that mistake. I was telling my friend, I was like, oh, I got this Galapagos book, guys. It's just so cool. And he's like, Galapagos? And now I always will call it Galapagos. I hope you do the same. But yes, avoid these still ponds, these things that are just pooling up, barely trickling out, and it's just never going to work for you. Make sure you're doing your research as you're on the field, looking at these sold, looking at the like listings. And for the good side of this, see like, oh, what region is everyone else selling in? Am I the only one providing this region? Or, oh, is there some keywords I can put in my title that clearly other people are using to get more sell-throughs, like the Inkheart, and all the other strategies that I mentioned in this video. There we go, like a little bit of the science behind reselling, the science behind why items sell or why they don't sell. I wanted to try to do this like a little bit of a twist on a what's sold to make it a little more interesting and get maybe a little bit more out of it, a little new tidbit of how I believe everything works. I just try to look at the figures that eBay provides me, look at the item that I have, what I did with that item, look at the other items there, the like listings, and the things that have sold, and try to get what I can out of that information. I'm not going to say I guarantee this is 100% on everything, but if you look through and definitely over the course of my year plus on eBay, these are the little trends that I've noticed over time. These things where you're just looking at it and it's like, yeah, this item is going to sell. This is a good item. I'm out there. I'm scanning it. I'm like, oh, it's going. All right, look at all the green solds. They're selling pretty frequently for this much roughly. Versus those kind of iffy ones where it's like, okay, it's selling if you put first edition hardcover, if you have a first edition hardcover. Don't just put it if you don't have it, all right? But if you actually have one, you have a little bit more of a desirable item. On the flip side of all of this, you're looking at things where it's like, ooh, this item's there, it's not really selling that often. Do I really want to hold this in my store? Sometimes it is worth it if it's like a $40 item and it slowly trickles out and you want that $40 in, let's say, 6 months. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's worth the investment to you. I definitely understand. I've done that a few times, but sometimes it's not. In the case of Julia Child, when you're getting like $9.90 free shipping, yeah, that's one of those. It is what it is. You do what you do. Yeah. Or you have the, the Stephen King thing where it's like your lot is just not desirable. Doesn't really matter. You have just kind of crap books. You put them together, right? It's all Stephen King, but maybe it is bent. What's another one? The Stand doesn't have its dust jacket. all these weird things. None of them are first edition. They're all different brands. You know, trying to make sure your lots are more consistent, like the Reese Bowen mystery book lot, where they're all the same book. They're all in the same series. Good lot. You know, they did have some wear and tear. We showed that off, but we showed it off nicely. We made sure we showed in every picture, like, oh, this is how those books are. They have a little bit of a wave to them. We did condition acceptable. We're honest. We gave a good customer experience on our listing, and therefore people are more trustworthy. They go in, they don't just see a stock image and like, am I going to roll the dice on this? They see what the item is, fully in depth, fully shown off in the images, trying to make sure that you have a good, user experience on your store the best you can. Obviously, they're all individual listings, but if you treat every listing the same, which is with, full care, full thought, and not, cutting corners on things, you'll probably be in good hands, and definitely your customers will be. And, there's no metric on eBay that says you have a good customer experience, but you can feel it. It's a feeling thing, not really a numbers thing. It's one of those things when you're on the store and you're scrolling through, and like I said, you see the stock images, and it's like weird thing, odd spacing. Try and make your things consistent, make it approachable, and people will approach your items. Well, without further ado, people, I'll release you back to your own free time. Thank you guys for tuning in for yet another video. I will give you now a soldier's salute and a piece. Get out there, go thrift, go list, check your items, be sure what you're getting is a good buy and a quick flip. It doesn't have to be quick, but it should be consistent and good for you. We'll see you all in the next video. Peace out. Woo!